Hello and welcome to the Sparta and Mayor Manager Show. I'm Wes Bruniger, the Mayor of Sparta, along with the Town Manager of Sparta, Brian Edwards, and we welcome you to this edition as we want to give you an update of our last town council meeting on February 5th. Brian, thank you for joining us here today, and I know it was we just celebrated Valentine's Day. Hope you had a good Valentine's, and hope the wife took care of you, and
I took care of her.
you took care of her
right.
just like we're supposed to do, and that's the good thing. Got some good exciting news we want to start off our show with today, and that's our Crestview booster pump project, and it looks like that we're about ready to start this project and get it underway, Brian.
Yes, we are, Mayor Bringer. At our last meeting, we approved a resolution there authorizing the financing arrangements. This will be coming to the town through the state wastewater and drinking water reserve program. And for the town of Sparta, it's a total project of $385,406. Of that, $685,000 will be loan and $150,000 grant. So I think that's really good news, Mayor, for our town citizens. And this is a very important project. We've been working on it for a number of years now. We know that our citizens that live on Highway 18 South and out in the health department and the ADAP area, those folks are served by a water supply that comes off the top of the Crestview apartment mountains up there behind. 2 water tanks that serve that area. This improvement will allow us to improve fire safety and water dependability and reliability to everybody on 18 South. So it's an important project for us, and at this point it looks like it's going to be moving forward pretty quickly. I actually had a conversation with the contractor this morning. They're anxious to start, and we are anxious for them to start. We just received the contract information on Friday, so I've got some documents on my desk that I'll need you to sign later today, and we'll get those back in the mail to these folks and get this funding project in place and ready to start on this project. It involves some new water line. It involves a booster pump that will allow us to fully integrate the town water distribution system. The water that's produced at the other wells around town, along with the purchased water that we get from the Virginia-Carolina Water Authority, will now be able to put that water into those tanks that serve this area 18 South. So it's a much needed project, a big improvement, infrastructure improvement for the town, and one I think that we'll see benefits, long-term benefits, years to come from this improvement.
And like you said, this has been an ongoing process for a number of years, and here we are now. We're right ready to get started, and I think this is just a great thing to fully integrate our water system. And I want to thank you for all your hard work that you've done, Brian. You really busted your tail on this, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you. And I will mention that the loan amount that on this is at 0 interest, so it's a very attractive deal for the town to make this kind of an improvement in our water infrastructure system and a very good rate and a good program for the town citizens.
One of the other exciting things that we had in our meeting this past Tuesday, the Krause Park Committee got to meet with the Sparta Lights and Entertainment Committee, so we're looking at putting some Christmas lights coming up in Krause Park this year.
Right, we're working with them. First thing we did is approve for the location of the Santa house. That's the red house that was located in the town parking lot this past Christmas. That is owned by the Sparta Lights and Entertainment Committee. They're agreeable to allow the farmers market folks to use that house. So we've agreed and found a location down there where that house can be at least semi-permanently located there. It will be available for them to move if they need to, but otherwise the house will be there through the farmers market season, and hopefully we'll find some good uses for that. Additionally, we talked about lighting displays to be placed in the Krause Park, and the town council approved in concept that we move forward on that. So we're currently working up a memorandum of understanding between the town and the Sparta Lights and Entertainment Committee that will address insurance and liability issues. We should have all of that pretty well worked out by our next council meeting, and come next Christmas season, we hope that we'll see some beautiful Christmas light displays in Krause Park.
And we also have a movie night that was approved by the town council for the public to come out on June the 15th of this year. Movie night in Krause Park. And that's been a successful event over the past few years.
We've done that a few times, and we're happy to be able to help sponsor this event along with Amy Greenfield. So it's going to be just a good kid-friendly movie, and join us on Friday evening. I believe that is June the 15th.
June 15th.
And there will be some refreshments and popcorn and other things there for a good family night movie at Krause Park.
We want to thank all the volunteers there of the Krause Park Committee, the Sparta Lights and Entertainment Committee that they have. And this is just some ideas that has been thrown out there, and people are acting on it, and we're trying just to do some good stuff here in our community here. And I appreciate all those volunteers and their hard work. We talked about our water department and some fees and reconnect stuff, Brian, and I'll let you elaborate on that a little bit. Not a lot, but just open up a chapter to talk about.
I think, Mayor, it's important to go ahead and let folks know we are looking at the reconnect fees primarily for the water department. We currently we have a $10 reconnect fee that's been in place for many years, has not been revised. We do feel like that we do need to increase that fee. So the council is considering several different options. There'll be more information about that at our next meeting. If we do these adjustment to fees, that's something that will take place later in the year after the council has made some consideration about it, and we likely would have a public hearing to receive public input about that before those new fees would be adopted. But more to come on that later.
More to come on that later, and we'll be giving you an update as information comes along. You know, we've had a lot of rain, Brian, and a lot of snow here in this year, and it has just been a moist, very wet year, and that's taken a toll on our sewer lines.
On our sewer lines as well as the road maintenance. We've had a couple of ice storms, a significant snowstorm, and then just rain all of the time. So it has caused some overtime situations for our town maintenance department, putting salt on the roads and then clearing the roads. And one of those snow events occurred during a weekend event, and our guys were out most of that weekend in the trucks plowing the roads and keeping our streets safe for our citizens. But that kind of extra effort does impact us on our budget. So we are looking at the amount of overtime that has been accrued because of those extra hours. And also down at our wastewater treatment plant, when as wet as it is, we're getting a lot of infiltration of groundwater into our sewer system. And that creates an alarm situation. It does require additional hours for our operator or operators to be on site. And that, in conjunction with the road maintenance, has created a pretty significant overtime situation that we'll be addressing at our next monthly meeting in terms of the budget amendment to adjust for overtime labor charges.
And that's just stuff that goes unexpected, of course. Nobody plans on getting a 2 foot of snow and at one time, and then on top of that having one of the major ice storms that really affected us really bad.
Yes, it did.
We did talk a little bit more about our streetscape and water line project, and you know, we're starting to get some more momentum on this, and I think the general consensus is we're going forward, and we're going to get what we can do here, and let's get what we can do done.
Right. I do agree with that, and I've had good meetings with our engineers. I actually have another telephone conference scheduled this afternoon with the engineering department. We have met with the contractor who was the low bidder on that job. The contract has not yet been approved or awarded, but we are in what I would call a negotiation phase with them, a combination of engineering, construction, and the town, to see what we can do to bring that project more in line with where our budget were. We are looking at a 3.3 to 3.5, I believe, total project. We do have about 1.5 million of loan money that is already in place for that, along with $700,000 of grant funds. So I think it's going to be very important that the town utilize this funding and that we get the most we can get. I do believe we will have to scale back to some extent the amount of work that we wanted to do. It will impact maybe the width of the sidewalks and some of the other work that we were going to do. The traffic signal is certainly an item that we're going to be taking a look at. And I would say at this point, does not appear likely that we would be able to replace the current traffic signal with the large overhead mast arms that we had anticipated. The cost of that just came in way higher than what we anticipated. But we'll be looking at another list of those items. I've got a meeting scheduled a week from next Wednesday with the contractor and the engineer to really get into the details of how we could bring this project back into the budget that we are looking at.
And also want to give a shout out to Joel Sadler over
Yes.
at Blue Ridge Energy, who has been more than very helpful with us in this thing.
Blue Ridge and Skyline both working with us very well, and we appreciate that. And also looking forward to working with this contractor to see what we can do to bring that project more in line.
As we wind up, we will end up with our manager's report that you gave to the town council, and you know, we're going to try to get another Parks and Recreation Trust Fund loan or application put back in. So I'm going to let you tell the folks a little bit about what all that consists of.
Thank you. Well, North Carolina Parks and Recreation Trust Fund does have a grant program that is geared toward improving our parks and accessibility and the opportunities that are available in parks. We did apply last year. It was a very competitive process. It's a statewide project, and we did not receive funding. But I think our council was very much in favor of us making an application again this year. A lot of the work's already done. We've got a good plan. I think it's going to require us to do some tweaking on that plan and bring some things in line that'll make us more competitive. But looking forward to getting that application in. May 1st of this year is the deadline. We work with High Country Council of Governments. Corey Osborne up there has been a great asset to us, along with Phil True and other planners at the High Country Council of Government. So we'll be working on getting that application ready to go.
Our next meeting is the first Tuesday of March, and we look forward to having that, and we invite everyone to come on out, and with your questions or any comments that you'd like to make, we encourage you to come out to our meetings, which is held in the town council room underneath Sparta Police Department in the town hall. We start at 7 p.m. and we like to encourage everyone to come out because your voice, we want you to be heard, and you may have some things and concerns that need to be brought out to us. And myself and Brian especially is always available at the town office, and does a great job of helping folks out. We sure do appreciate what you do, and the ladies down there and our maintenance staff. I just want to give a shout out to my whole crew down there. They really do a great job, and I really appreciate all the effort down there.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and we are there Monday through Friday. The regular office hours are 8:30 to 4:30. I'm typically there till 5 or so, and the mayor's there most days around the lunchtime. So if you need to make an appointment, we would welcome that opportunity to meet with you.
Feel free to do so. We've got about 30 days till spring, so things are pepping up.
We hope so.
We're going to get this ball rolling here, and we're going to start getting the facelift here done very, very soon. Brian, once again, thank you for doing that. And for Brian Edwards, I'm Wes Bruniger, the mayor of Sparta, and thank you for watching the Sparta Mayor Manager Show here on Allegheny Community TV.